Hello, I'm Nicholas Argenziano from Argent Contracting here in Chatham, New Jersey. We're going to discuss backup generators today and what to look for primarily when you have one installed in your home. This happens to be a Honeywell unit. A Honeywell unit is a generator inside. That's the actual generator portion. Honeywell does the control, the components. This one has the Wi-Fi that comes with it automatically. There's both a cellular dial and a Wi-Fi dial. Lets you know if there's a maintenance issue. When it's been running, exercise periods will notify anyone you want on the list if it needs maintenance. As we open up the cover here, this one is equipped with a sync control. What's nice about the sync control is it's in plain English. Anyone can come here, scroll through, including a homeowner, scroll through, see what there was a failure, when it ran last, how it's running, what needs to be done service-wise, oil change, low battery. Very nice control to use, very user-friendly. We open it up. We look inside. It's basically an engine and a generator. This is the generator. This produces 110 volt electricity, 220 volt electricity, depending on which model you have. Here's a motor that runs it. Like any other engine, you have an oil filter, oil safeties. You need to maintain it, change the oil, change the air filter, like you would any small engine. Now, a generator, unlike a small engine, though, when your lawnmower comes out once a week, in the course of its life, you might have to change the oil 2 or 3 times. The generator runs full throttle to provide you power for your home. In that event, the oil has to be changed a little more frequently. We advise getting a service agreement with us. We would change the oil, do a safety inspection on it annually. If there's a storm or an outage, every 100 hours, we advise replacing the filter, the oil. Like any other engine, it has to be maintained to run and give you efficiency. This one happens to be equipped with an automatic transfer switch. What that means is when the power goes off, the generator starts. After 15 seconds, once it checks out okay, it converts the house from the city power to the generator. When the power is restored from the city, it switches back automatically, cools the generator down, shuts itself off. That said, you want to ensure your generator is installed properly. The biggest mistake everyone makes with a generator is they shop price. You have to shop installer. You have to have one that's sized properly for your home. This happens to be installed in Short Hills, New Jersey. It powers the entire house, 3 air conditioning systems, charges an electric car, so they need a pretty good sized generator. Your needs may be you need to power a sump pump, a refrigerator, and a couple of lights, alarm system. You can get a much smaller generator. They'll all be automatic. They all come with the automatic transfer switch. There's different size engines and wattages. The other thing you have to look at is how it's installed. So you have to have the right size gas piping. There are manufacturer specifications. There's an industry stat out there right now that 91% of standby generators installed will not operate in a storm. The reason being undersized gas piping, either from the meter to the unit, undersized gas piping from the street to the house, undersized gas meter. These are things that have to be researched before you install the equipment. You need to do a load survey with the utility company, anyone's generator. Load survey with the utility company, make sure there's enough gas in the street. You have to make sure your meter is large enough. They have to be sized properly from the house to here. This one has a 2-inch pipe, which is about that big in diameter, to supply the gas here. It's not overkill because all the neighborhoods here have generators. The pressure drop in the street, which we found out from our load survey, is 3 inches. We had to oversize the pipe to compensate for that to ensure that they'll have power in an outage. And that's basically what you're looking at. Most generators are not installed properly. Even if you're servicing them every year and changing the oil, if the gas pipe is undersized, if the wires to it are undersized, if the automatic transfer switch isn't maintained or there's a blown fuse, it won't transfer in an emergency. And that's what you really have to ensure. So at Argent, we sell maintenance agreements even if we didn't install it. We'll do an inspection. If it's installed as per the manufacturer specifications, we'll give you a maintenance agreement. We'll come out, we'll do the oil changes, we'll do the maintenance on it. If it doesn't work in a storm, you call, we'll get there. If it's not installed properly, we'll let you know and why. We're waiting today for an inspection on this job for the final inspection, which is part of the process. You install a generator. It takes about a day to run the gas piping and set the generator in place after zoning approves the location, which is, again, part of the permitting process. Once we install the generator, there's one inspection. They come out, they inspect the gas pipe, and they inspect the rough electric. After it's all installed, after that inspection, they come back again. We turn the generator on in front of the town inspector. We transfer, meaning we're going to take the generator power and power this house with it. Once it's ensured it's okay and safe and done to code, we switch it back. That's how you get a final inspection. So the process of the installation isn't just the time it takes to drop it at your house. It's the 3 or 4 inconvenience days where you're waiting for the fire inspector, the plumbing inspector, the zoning official. But that's just part of the job, and it really needs to be done to ensure that it's installed properly for yourself. Next is the placement of the generator. Every manufacturer has their own specifications for fire and safety. This happens to be the Honeywell package. It's a metal case, which makes it fire rated. This could be installed as close to 18 inches to the house, conditions permitting, and as far away as 5 feet from the house, conditions permitting. And again, these are all things that if you just get somebody out of the phone book with no permits, no inspection, no zoning, you may have a safety or a health issue, exhaust blowing into a window, killing all your shrubbery, whatnot. So it's important to place it properly and make sure everything is all right. And again, we can help you that along the way. You can reach us on our website at Argent Plumbing. You can call us on the phone, and we'll give you any advice we have to as far as installations go.